Para ipakita ang tunay na estado ng ating bansa, ilahad ang mga pinakabagong balita at pangyayari sa ating bayan, ipaalam sa taong bayan ang katotohanan at ipaliwanag ang mga hakbang na ginagawa ng pamahalaan upang manatiling payapa at maiangat ang pamumuhay ng bawat Pilipino. Mula sa Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte, ito ang Talk to the People.
Magandang gabi po sa mga kababayan natin nakikinig sa Talk to the People. Maganda to so that you have a connect between you and government. Ang trabaho ko nung nakaraang linggo, May 15, I led the commencement exercises of the Philippine Military Academy, Bagsik Diwa Class of 2022 in Baguio City. Then on May 18, Wednesday, I attended the Pure Gold Ito yung postal. Nandiyan ako bumili. Mga bago na. If I may mention it, Suzuki na yan. Medyo matibay ng konti. Yan online na lahat. Pati pagbayad. Pagkaya ng style ngayon. Yan, no? Ako ang hindi marunong yan.
They're trying to put together the government, the next administration. So, pero siyempre, very significant yung kahapon. At kahit pa paano, it is slowly sinking in na eto na talaga yun. So, but anyway, it also became productive because nakausap ko na yung mga legislators natin. At sinasabi ko na sa kanila, ito yung mga dapat natin gawin, ito yung mga hihingiin ko sa inyo. I think I'm hoping there will be a honeymoon period na maging maliwanag at maging maganda at maayos ang relationship, cooperation between the legislature, the executive, and of course the judiciary. So that's what we spoke about at length. After naiwan pa ako dun ng mga 3 oras. As I had said earlier, As soon as we have more to announce, we will ask for you to come. So, sandali lang, may debriefing. As I'm sure you know, nakakatanggap na ako na mga congratulatory messages from different heads of states. Nakausap ko na ang unang nakatawag sa amin ay yung US, the President Joe Biden, and China, President Xi. Nakausap ko namin also the Japanese Prime Minister Kishida. I even spoke to the outgoing Prime Minister of Australia, PM Morrison, who just went through an election also. So, marami na talagang nangyayari, marami na talagang we're already being recognized. This new administration is being already recognized. Mukha namang walang problema sa recognition.
Dahan-dahan na pong tumataas ang kaso sa mga ilang bahagi ng Pilipinas. So pagdating po ng tag-ulan, rainy season na naman, nagpapaalala po yung ating kagawaran ng kalusugan na sundin ang ating 4S upang magsugpo ang dengue. Ano po yun? 1. Search and destroy po. Ito po yung maaring i-destroy natin yung mga maaring pamahayan ng lamok sa pamamagitan ng pagtaob sa mga kagamitang maaring pagpunan ng tubig at pag-intlugan ng lamok katulad ng mga balde, ng mga palanggana na hindi ginagamit, paglinis po ng ating nilulod sa ating mga bahay at yung mga lumang gulong ng sasakyan na nakatambak lamang. Pangalawa po, self-protection. Ito ay pamamagitan ng pagsuot ng damit na may mahabang manggas o pantalon o maaaring paggamit po ng repellent sa dengue. Number 3, seek early consultation sa unang simptomas pa lang po lamang ng sakit katulad ng pananakit ng tiyan, tuloy-tuloy na pagsusuka, pagdurugo ng gilagid o ilong, dugo sa suka at sa dumi, pamamaga ng atay, pagkapagod o pagkabalisa, dapat po kumonsulta na tayo sa pinakamalapit na health center at doktor. Pang-apat po ay support, fogging and spraying sa mga lugar lamang na may pagtaas ng kaso ng dengue. Kasabay po sa next slide please. Kasabay po sa pagsunod ng 4S ay sabay din natin ng 4 o'clock habit na pagpapanamatiling malinis yung ating bahay sa kapaligiran at kapaligiran para maiwasan po ang pagdami ng lamok. Ito po yung slide na sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina ngayon. Ang Spring Vaccination Day ay inilunsad upang maibahagi natin ang mga bakuna para sa mga bata na 2 taon pababa. Ang goal po natin dito ay mapapunahan ang at least 80% of the remaining approximately 1.1 million infants who missed their routine immunization last 2021. Ang mga bakunang po ito ay yung BCG vaccine, hepatitis B vaccine, pentavalent vaccine, oral polio vaccine, inactivated polio vaccine, pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, at measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. Noong pong April po, mahal na Pangulo, Mayor, ay ginanap sa priority provinces about 36 areas na may mahigit na 10,000 bata na hindi pa nakakumpleto ng bakuna. Ngayong May 26 to 27 po, ay isasagawa na po natin ito sa buong bansa. Nasubok na po natin ang 4 na dekada ang pagiging ligtas at epektibo ng ating mga bakuna. Dumaan na po ito sa masusing pagsusuri ng WHO at ng ating Food and Drug Administration. At kumusta naman po ito sa ating tinalagang standards o pamantayan. Higit sa lahat po, mga Pangulo, dapat samantalain po natin ang mga kababayan natin ito dahil ito po ay libre. Kaya naman po para sa mga nanay, tatay, mga guardians, gaya ng lolo at lolo, lola at iba pa, suportahan po natin yung Chikiting Vaccination Days upang bigyan proteksyon ng ating mga anak laban sa vaccine preventable diseases. Next slide please. Sa kabuuan, mahal na Pangulo, mahal na Mayor, ang Pilipinas at karamihan sa rehiyon ay nananatiling nasa minimal risk habang ang Regions 3, 5, 8, 12 and Caraga and Barm ay nasa low risk classification po. Ang naitalang bahaging pagtaas ng mga kaso sa variant sa bansa, pinuunjukan po natin yung ating mga kababayan, ang publiko, na kumplituhin ang inyong COVID-19 primary series o magpa-booster na po upang lumakas po ang ating immune system at labanan na anumang variant ng COVID-19 na darating sa hinaharap kung meron po. Para naman po sa monkeypox, ang DOH kasama ng iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno ay nagtutulungan po upang maiwasan ang pagpasok nito sa bansa. Pinapaalalahanan natin ang ating mga kababayan na laging sumunod sa minimum public health standards. At sa huli po, mahal na Pangulo, inihikayat din namin ang lahat ng mga magulang na suportahan yung ating sinasagawang Chikiting vaccination sa darating na Huwebes at Biyernes, May 26 to 27, at papakunahan na po natin yung mga chikiting natin laban sa mga vaccine preventable disease. Maraming salamat po, mahal na Pangulo, ng namin po.
Thank you, Sir Tongo. Mga kapwa ko ng kabayan, magandang gabi po. Next slide. Katulad po sa ating programa ng pagbabuna, ay bigyan po natin ng direktiba ang ating local government units para house-to-house vaccination. Ano yung problema na ibigay po akong ulat ng ating accomplishment sa house-to-house vaccination ng mga LGUs. Narito po ang datos mula sa ating mga masisigasig at masisipag na kawani ng lokal na pamahalaan patungkol na ginagawa nilang house-to-house COVID-19 vaccinations. Patuloy ang pagtaas ng bilang na nababakunahan at sinusuportahan natin ang inisiative nito ng LGUs sa buong Pilipinas upang masigurado natin hindi na muling makakaranas ng SARS ang ating bansa. As of May 22, 811 cities and municipalities ang kasalukuyan ng pagpapalipad ng house-to-house vaccination. At makita po dito sa ulat natin na nakapag-administer na po ng 1,934,807 doses sa tulong ng ating lokal na pamahalaan. Sa ngayon po makita natin ay binigyan natin ng kombinasyon ang Region 13 na umabot sa 477,657, sumunod ang Region 3 sa 421,138 at ang Region 11 na umabot naman po sa 246,249. Pinasasalamatan po natin ang lahat ng LGU officials at personnel sa kanilang pakikiisa sa ating nationwide vaccination campaign. At ngayong napapalapit na ang banta ng Omicron BA.4 variant sa bansa, muli tayo napalabas ng direktiba upang suyurin ang bawat komunidad, sityo at kanayunan para mapakunahan ang ating mga kababayan hindi pa rin nakakatanggap o nakakakumpleto ng kanilang COVID-19 vaccines. Next slide. Dito naman po sa ating community health recorded violations, mula po May 11 hanggang May 22, nakita po natin na tumaas ang violation ng clear face mask. Umabot sa 40,335 at pinagin ang no physical distancing na umabot ng 2,100. Kaya naman, muli natin pinapaalalahanan natin mga kababayan, sumunod tayo sa minimum public health standards, lalo-lalo na ang pagsusuot ng mask. At sisigutin po natin na ating i-implement ito sa lahat ng antas, sa lahat ng area sa buong Pilipinas. Next slide. Sa ating mga pong regular na pag-uulat ng ating kampanya against illegal drugs, sa patuloy ng programa ng PNP, ng PIDEA, NBI at AFP at pang ahensya ng pamahalang nasyonal sa pagsugpo ng illegal na droga, nakita po natin na sa loob po ng nakarang araw mula May 11 hanggang May 22, nakapagsagawa tayo ng 1,556 operations. Ang ating pong na-aresto ay 1,796. Wala naman pong
willingness and the cooperation of our countrymen and women sa pagsugpo sa ating minimum health standards, lalo na po yung pagsusuot ng mask. Next slide. Ngayon naman po, ang pinagkakabalan po natin lahat sa IETF at sa National Task Force sa pamumuno ni Secretary Lorenzana, Secretary Ano, Secretary Dalvez at Secretary Duque ay hinahanap po natin ang transmission para po maayos po ang maipapasa natin sa susunod na administrasyon at para po maitutuloy po nila ang ating mga gains itong mga nakaraang buwan lalo na sa ating vaccination program. Important lang po to note, the priorities that we have now are number one, to really increase the vaccination levels of some of our provinces, as I will show later, especially in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, kung saan lampas lang po ng 50% ang ating vaccination rate. It is the lowest in the country. Kaya po sa mga darating na linggo, magkakaroon po tayo ng mga special vaccination days sa BAR, especially po ngayon na natapos na po ang Ramadan nakaraang mga linggo. We are also already going to start the aggressively pushing the boosters for 18 years old and above. Ngayon po ginagawa po ng ating mga experts ang boosters para sa second booster para sa ating mga senior citizens at sa ating healthcare workers at para din po sa mga merong comorbidity. And kagaya po ng sinabi ko kanina, Mr. President, napaka-importante po natin proteksyonan ang ating mga bata. Lalo na po ngayon, marami sa kanila ang pumapasok sa eskwela. Marami po sa kanila ang hindi baknan. That's why we are really pushing for this, and we would like to reiterate your call earlier, Mayor, to the parents. Kasi yung magulang po talaga ang susi dyan. They are the key to push and to allow their children to be vaccinated post-haste. Next slide, please. Ito po ang ating numbers ngayon. Maganda po ang ating numero. With at least one dose, we are already almost 82% of the target population. For fully vaccinated individuals, we are already at close to 77% of our target population. Actually, na-reach na po natin ang target po natin talaga nung una, Mr. President, before your term ends, ay umabot po tayo ng 70% ng ating eligible population. We are very happy to report, Mayor, na as of today, 77% na po tayo, na-exceed na po natin yung target bigay kay Secretary Galvez at sa buong IATF. Ngayon po, ang challenge natin ay talagang magpa-booster po yung mga nakatanggap na ng 2 doses at ma-maximum natin yung ating next slide. So, 81 out of 119 provinces, highly urbanized cities, and independent component cities. Pero as you can see, Mayor, and ito po ay sinabi na rin ni Secretary Anyo nung tinawag po niya ang pansin ng ating mga probinsya at mga LGU, dahil meron pa rin pong mga probinsya. Sa probinsya po, only 45 out of 81 provinces, or roughly 56% of our provinces have reached the 70-70 target, 70 of target population and 70 of seniors. Sa ating highly urbanized cities, isa na lang po ang hindi maabot. Ito po ay ang General Santos City sa Soxargen. At tulungan po natin si Mayor Rivera para po umabot siya sa target na ito. At meron na lang po isa out of the 5 independent component cities, Cotabato City na Region 12, ang hindi pa po umaabot. So, tulungan po natin ang Jensa at ang Cotabato City at yung ibang mga probinsya na umabot po sila. Meron po tayong 2 probinsya na nakaabot sa target ngayong linggo. Yun po ay ang Sorsogon Province sa Bicol at ang Davao Oriental sa Region 11. Finally po, Mr. President, you will be happy to note na if we look at po our major cities, next slide please, at ikukumpira natin halimbawa sa mga ibang syudad, halimbawa sa Amerika, ang NCR po, ang kanyang total vaccination ay actually lumampas po ng 107%. Baka po magtaka kayo kung bakit nangyari ito. Dahil po ang NCR mayors, dahil po sa tulong ng DILG, ng MMDA at ng ating mga mayors sa NCR, nagpakunan din po sila ng mga non-NCR residents sa Bulacan, sa Cavite, Laguna, Rizal, at sa iba pang mga probinsya. Dahil alam naman po natin, Mayor, na marami pong mga taga-probinsya nagpupunta sa Metro Manila para magtrabaho. So, pinakunahan din po ng NCR yung mga residente ng probinsya, kaya po lumayo na siya. Pero kung titignan po natin ang Cebu, 87.45%, Davao City, 85.8%, mas mataas na po tayo sa mga ilang mga malalaking syudad sa Amerika, tulad ng Los Angeles, New York, at pati na rin sa So, it's really a testament for the hard work of our mayors, of the national government, and also the private sector na naabot po natin itong mga milestones na ito. Yun nga po, doon po nagtatapos ang aming report, Mr. President. Maraming salamat po sa iyong constant reminders sa ating mga kababayan na magpabakuna at tuloy-tuloy lang po ang pagmamask dahil yung dalawang po yun talaga ang ating ultimate protection against COVID-19. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Secretary Dizon. We'll have Secretary Anyo to do the reporting.
Please put this down.
I'm good to have you with us. This has been called the most consequential election in the Philippines in recent history. Marcos Jr. has an early lead according to the unofficial tally of the results. What would a victory for the son of the former dictator mean for the country?
Thank you, Molly, and thank you for having me here. It's an absolute pleasure. And in fact, looking into the numbers, we can definitely say, well, first of all, that the people have spoken. As we can see, the ongoing calculations are quite accurately reflecting the scientific and official surveys conducted pre-election. So this indicates, of course, the functional level of democratic and consistent, transparent processes within the particular system. And of course, the people have made their decisions consciously, and all the resources they need to know about the candidates are all out in the open. And voting a candidate is much more intricate, of course, than a simple black or white case that many have claimed. And looking into the dynamic of social level or the societal level of Philippine politics, the Filipinos have voted based on several factors that encompass really the individual collective beliefs, values, interests, geography, and of course the current trends and the present campaign strategies utilized by the candidates. So like in any other democracy, the choice of the people will be respected, and we will work within this particular choice. And one important thing to highlight is that several events throughout the Philippines' political history have indicated the strength of the people, of the Filipino society, and I believe in any democracy, the people-centric approach is, I believe, the most vital. And this vital component, as I've mentioned, of our democracy, which I believe will only strengthen further, is something that we have to take a look of throughout the years to come. And last, one more factor I'd like to mention towards this particular increase is, of course, President Duterte. President Duterte is well-loved and appreciated by millions of Filipinos for that matter. If you look into the approval and trust ratings, the most recent, just weeks before he leaves, he has it over 67%. And in fact, it might be the first president, he might be the first president of the Philippines to leave with an approval rating of over 50%. So the people are really looking towards someone who will continue or have a certain level of continuation towards President Duterte's policies. And to them, I believe that Mr. Bongbong Marcos seems to have that credibility to continue some of the major policies of President Duterte. And I think this has really factored in, of course, the voting and, of course, the perceptions towards the currently leading candidate, Mr. Bongbong Marcos.
Right, and speaking of which, violence marred polling day. There have been accounts of alarming irregularities as well, malfunctioning voting machines, insufficient numbers of backup machines, complaints that voters have been left off registration rolls, and that their ballots have been tampered with. At one polling station, 3 security guards were killed as well. If you can give us a better sense of what polling day looked like.
Well, yes. I mean, if you look into the patterns of Philippine elections throughout the years, we could see that a little bit pre-election and during election, there seems to be a little bit of a fuzz, particularly in terms of, people treat this very seriously, the level of emotion that people get, the involvement of the emotional level really leads to certain factors such as these disruptions, these hiccups. But I believe that, those irregularities have been addressed, and now we are looking into, now everyone's sitting tight looking towards the numbers as we are currently computing. The last number I checked was at 21 million for Mr. Bongbong Marcos and at least 10 million plus for Vice President Leni Robredo. And everyone is looking into it, and perhaps it would be interesting to look into how the winning candidate would deal with the challenges and opportunities that President Duterte has left behind in terms of the Philippine status.
Jr. could win with more than half the votes, and this will make him the first presidential candidate to secure an absolute majority since his father was overthrown. Such a big win could be detrimental for the Philippines. It could allow him to make constitutional changes to cement his power that could weaken the country's democratic checks and balances. The winner of the election will take office on the 30th of June. This is for a single 6-year-long term. The new leader will inherit a pandemic-battered economy, deep poverty, the legacy of a brutal anti-drugs crackdown. With us in the broadcast is Don McLean, is now heading for a landslide victory in the Philippine elections. The younger Marcos looks set to complete the clan's remarkable comeback. It comes nearly 40 years after his father and namesake was toppled by a popular revolt. 10 candidates were vying to succeed President Rodrigo Duterte in the election. For many, these elections were a make-or-break moment, one that could shape the Philippines' fragile democracy in the days to come. But only Marcos Jr. and his rival Leni Robredo had a credible chance of winning. Marcos Jr. is the son of former Philippines dictator Ferdinand Marcos. He is a former governor and senator. His family name made him a political heavyweight with deep pockets and powerful connections. His campaign message was that of unity. Marcos says his goal is to create employment and steer Philippines out of the economic meltdown. On the other hand, Lenny Robredo is a former human rights lawyer and staunch liberal. Robredo beat Marcos in the 2016 vice presidential election. As vice president, she has led campaigns against poverty and gender inequality. Her campaign focused on ending corruption, better governance, more rights for women, and an end to a culture of violence.
Ozzy 16 فيوست الشك انا جايب الفايبس لابس fucking دارك لابس شي انا بلاك حنا تاع الزنقه نتي والراك حبه في القانون ديروا لاطاك قاري الدنيا ماشي لا فاك راب تزيري نديروا لا باك نخلي لا مار انا نطشي لا مارك ضربه شي صغار كونسومي بلا ما نهاجيه سليفات ستور ولا اوراجي كلش ماشي كلشي يدور زيد بارطاجي ثقيل عليك انا باكاجي كي نطير ما نحير ما نفيراجي وانا ما بالي دار بالي قلب لي حل بالي فرفطه وحده جامي دار تنشوفو مع غير بلي مينور اللي طلع بالحديد ددوه كيتر زيد نحيل كيتسمى طاسر سموكين دروغي سلعت المروكي ندير راي
Planta 3 years yan. Minimum 3 to 5 to 7 years. But kahit na hindi aabutan ng administrasyon ko, we still have to start. We still have to start somewhere. So we spoke about that and some of the other security concerns for the region. Siyempre, North Korea is a continuing concern to South Korea, and the stability in our area is something that we have also discussed. With the ambassador from India, we hit upon he had 3 very interesting programs that they are instituting in India that I think might be applicable in the Philippines. And we again agreed to go into these different areas in greater detail. Number one, of course, is agriculture. We have a lot, we can learn a lot, especially from India. Not only in the techniques of agriculture, but also in the protection of farmers and how to bring the average age of the farmers down from what it is now. Nababasa ko 57, 50, 56, 57 ang average age ng ating mga magsasaka. At wala pumapasok ng mga kabataan. And one of the solutions that was proposed is that it will, kung gawin nating high-tech yung ating agriculture, magiging interesting para sa mga mas bata. Because with the new technologies, we will need young people anyway. So we started talking about that in the protection of the farmers. I also, because it is one of the conclusions we arrived at during and after the pandemic, after the first hit of the pandemic, yung gamot. And we know that India is one of the largest manufacturers of generic drugs. And I think I said we could go into partnership para magkaroon ng production dito sa Pilipinas. Turuan nyo kami what is the manufacturing technology, what are the necessary things that have to be put in place. Is there new legislation? Would we have to put up a new agency, or we will have to do training of those of yung mga nasa atin na tao. But in the end, to be able to provide at least the basic, yung mga basic lang na mga gamot na dito na nanggagaling. Marami na tayong ginagawa pero marami pa rin kulang. And kaya naman siguro, I have no doubt na yung ating mga manufacturers dito, kaya naman nilang gawin yan. Pero we will get advice because may experience and
صاحب عبري الغولة الكابري صوتي السربي لحق الحصري ولا لا لا بيب اللي بداها يا كل حبك اللي مداها واحد دق دق ليزي اللي رابي قلب ليزي تفلد في الحيزه تبشر اللي طاحت تمشي قبل الفردا تنرخصك وردا